Luminalia is on us again, and in RL terms, happy holidays to everyone. Hope they're going well for you, to you and your families, and your friends. I wish you a very happy, merry, celebratory holiday season. And part of Luminalia 20, for 2952 this year, there's a bunch of sales on the website. There's in-game events, and there's free in-game stuff. I wanted to do a video kind of covering the differences between this year's event, last year's event, and talk a little bit about those sales too. Um, I try not to do weekly videos anymore that cover a specific, oh, this is the sale, this is the subscriber thing for this month. But Luminalia is a once a year thing. To me, it's like a minor sale that is very interesting for a couple different reasons. The first thing up is the free stuff in the game. So this year, CIG is offering 12 days of gifts, as they call it, and you can pick them up starting today all the way through January 10th. Do not have to log in every single day to get these things. Also, note that when you go into your My Hangar on the StarCitizen website, you may see a bit of a lag between when you pick it up, claim it in the store page, and the link is below in the description to that page, and when you actually see it in your hangar and when you see it in game. Understand that they do waves of distribution like everything else in this game. And this year's being 12 in-game products is very interesting. To start off the event, it's a set of 3 sweaters. So I'm putting this together on day 1 of this event, and the Luminalia sweaters are in teal, blue, and red. Teal's a little not quite teal to me, but there it is. It's more like a Carhartt light green from the old days. But anyway, um, when you go to click on the day, it will show that you're logged into your account. If you haven't already, you're going to have to log in. And then it'll have a code. If the code is not there, the code is Luminalia. And it says it right at the top, your code. So if the other days have a different code, it'll be right at the top of the page, right on top of a picture of what you're going to get. And then hit claim the package on step 3. You don't have to go to continue to my hangar. That's it. You've already claimed it. You can check to see it's in your hangar, but like I said before, it can take a little bit of time for it to get there. Don't go filing a ticket just because it's not there that second. Also note that, as I said, these are available till January 10th, so there is no rush to get through all these. If you're not near your computer for a week, don't fret. You're still going to get your free stuff. Now, last year, uh, for 2021, aka Luminalia 2951, there was a bit of I would call it a downer. There was an in-game sweater, which is nice. I still wear it actually out of the season, no less. Um, but there was a lot of things that were wallpapers and what they called sneak peeks, and what these sneak peeks were to a quad bike. And a lot of us thought that this hover quad bike was basically going to be the grand finale present, and it was not. It was simply a wallpaper of the full quad bike. So my recommendation is to not expect a free ship or a free dragonfly or something that large. So temper your expectations. I've heard rumors or suggestions or thoughts that there would be possibly a bunch of weapon paints, probably the weapon with a paint, and maybe some armor paints as well as part of this. However, the first day being 3 sweaters is maybe more indicative that it is going to be more clothing oriented, but there will be 12 days of free in game stuff. And remember, today we got 3 sweaters to start it off strong. So there you go. And I don't think they're the most amazing looking things, but I think that free clothing is always a good idea. I can't tell you how many times I see people running around in hospital gowns and such. So having these sitting in your starter cities and then later on distributing them to your favorite stations and other cities can't hurt. Having some spare clothes. And the other big interesting thing that is not involved with directly purchasing in this whole event is a referral drive. Now, part of this referral drive, they are offering discount starter packs, so that is something to purchase. However, referrals are more they're more oriented towards the person who is trying to get the referral. They're trying to get someone else to use their referral. And I want to take a minute to talk about that. So in this case, you're both going to get an Argo. So the person who uses the referral code and also the person who tried to get that person to get the referral will both get an Argo cargo. And just real quick, a reminder, the Argos do not have a quantum drive. They do not have the means to be able to quantum to other locations. However, they are extremely useful, and the cargo can use the personnel containers in the future when they're detachable, and also the personnel can use the cargo containers. The cargo container itself has a jump seat in the front and then a small cargo grid in the back. The Argo cargo also comes with LTI, as does all the referral bonuses. It is not tradable. It's basically attached to your account, but you can CCU it into another ship. I highly recommend the Pisces, for example, or the brand new Pisces, the C8R, which is the medical variant with the tier 3 bed. That would be a great option. I think for the regular Pisces, it's 5 USD. It's like 15, I think, for the C8R when it's available. Okay, so off the referral topic for just a moment about the what to buy with them. Back to what I promised, if you don't have to spend a dime. So if you have a friend who uses your referral code, or you find another means to get someone to use the referral code of yours, there's an aggregator on the r StarCitizen Reddit that will allow you to add yours, and hopefully somebody will use the randomized code. If you have no other means to get somebody to sign up onto your code, or if you don't want to get the dark side, which is the advertising side of things. And I can make a video about that if anybody's interested. Just drop a comment. I can walk you through it, and then maybe make a video about the latest experiences that I've been seeing about people trying to do that method to form a bunch of referrals. And yeah, the Argo cargo referral. I think this is a great ship to have as a second option, and the referral process is not that hard. But you must remind your friends that they have to use the referral when they first make the account. Even if necessary, making a brand new account, even if they haven't done anything with the other account. Take a look at if there's any free stuff on that in their My Hangar section. And if they don't have anything, it might be better just to make a brand new account with a referral. Look at 5,000 UEC, a nice Argo cargo, which is a ship. And once again, $5 they can turn into a Pisces. Also back this year is the wonderful gift treasure hunts. Basically, I'll call them like little Easter egg hunts, if you will, if that's part of your culture. And these gift boxes are very small. I'm gonna put up a picture of them hopefully here if I can find one. And these boxes have a red ribbon on top, and they're gold, like little lines through them. They're shiny a little bit. And they tend to be hidden around spaceports and larger stations. I'm going to give you a hint. If you can't find one in about 2 minutes of looking, or 3 minutes, and you don't see other players frantically running around or hearing their frantic footsteps, because they will collect them on what they call routes, they probably aren't at where you're at. But if you're at one of the large planetary landing locations, if you're wondering what I'm talking about, Lorville, you're talking about New Babbage, you're talking about Area 18. These are the 3 places I can think off the top of my head I've actually seen them. And I think that Orison is, I'm sure, a place with them as well by now, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not going to go send any of you there, just to be sure. I've also seen them at Grim Hex of all places, but just remember the connotations of Grim Hex, and getting in and out of there is not quite the most fun place. So those presents are available. I have not yet had a chance to test them. And hopefully with the upcoming patch, I'm getting ready to do the 318 PTU. That should be this week. I'm going to talk more about that in a little bit. But these presents should be at least a few thousand UEC. I've seen them go from, I think it was 2,000 UEC the one time I did the presents runs for Lunar New Year one year. They were the envelopes, but then they were presents for some reason at one place. I don't know. But anyway, they're about the same thing. And then I've seen them all the way up to, I think it was 5K UEC. And what you do is you collect them all, you put them in your backpack, and on your person, don't forget your armor has different pieces that have all inventory space. And then you run back to a trading location, and then you sell them, like as if they're tradable commodities. For whatever reason, they were marked illegal cargo the one time I was selling them, but they sold just fine. They sold no different. That was at Area 18 a few years back. Me and a few of the crew that were doing the Division series, we were just running boxes. We had to keep on focus doing our scene shoots because everybody wanted to run off and get more boxes. But yeah, it's good payouts. And remember, there will be a wipe for 318. So going into 318 live is where you want to start really hitting these hard. So I've personally known someone who purchased I think it was a Mustang, one of the Mustang series, with just for what they got off those boxes. So bear that in mind. Buying a small fighter or buying a ground vehicle or something like that, or definitely enough just to rent within the span of just an hour or two of effort. Renting a ship for a whole weekend is not a problem. And Prospector would be my recommendation for that type of work. But hey, whatever makes you have fun, and that is part of the game after all. Also, they're bringing back the box delivery missions, so the scale of them may be a little bit different this year, from what I've seen, at least on the preview picture on the website. I have not been able to test these out of the scale that they're talking about. I've seen the box delivery missions to 2 or 3 boxes to a location in the past. Um, if there's entire cargo holds full of presents, they're larger. They look the same, but they're much larger. That would be pretty dang cool. There's a screenshot contest and a let's see, holiday cheer entry, festive greeting cards type thing for prizes. If you guys are interested in the more creative side, I can dig into those, but I'm gonna skip that for now. And on to what you can actually buy. So on the website, they're doing the yearly, again, Centurion Imperator subscription discounts. So Centurion is 99 USD from 110 USD, 10% discount for the year. And the Imperator is 198 USD from 220 USD. Another 10% you save with the higher level. As a reminder, you do get a pass with these. So you get a discount on purchases of ships and other stuff from the website. The Centurion gets a cheaper one than the Imperator. The Imperator gets the better discount, but there is hard caps on how high that goes. It is based on your yearly amount of time you have in. So these are actually pretty good deals. And on top of that, if you buy the year, you get 2 more extra months. So you get 14 months of either type if you're going to buy them. It's up to you if you decide if it's worth subscription. I've always argued the cheaper of the 2 subscriptions is worth more to me than the Imperator, which is the more expensive of the 2. I just honestly have always felt that way. I don't know why I feel that, but I think the extra freebies you get per month, you get a free option if you're a subscriber, but if you have a couple bad months in that year, you can't really vote, so to speak, with what you buy. Like if you buy monthly passes or, off and on you're a subscriber, you can pick good months. Like, ooh, there's something really good coming out. I like these plushies, or I like this type of weapon they're building. And, I like the ship that's for freebies. There's a free ship for subscribers. Pick up a month of Centurion, you're done. With a year of either type, you're kind of locked in. And if whatever you get is in your My Hangar, it is what it is. And the Imperator, you're just paying even more to have even more access. So you get 2 free items instead of 1 every month, and the better discount, which is hard capped. But I gotta tell you, I think those coupons and such are really iffy. I'm not saying that the subscriptions are bad or anything. I'm just saying weigh the options and what your value of your credits, because you can use credit. You don't have to use brand new money, are worth to you. And then remember that the coupon for Centurion is 10% up to a max discount of $50 USD. And the Imperator is 20% up to a max discount of $100. So don't think you're going to buy this and it's, I'm going to get 10% off a Javelin or something like that. Just understand the coupons have hard limitations. You got to remember that. Also, you can't use it on real world items. So you can't pick up that 10% off coupon up to $50 and then spend it on the sweater. It has to be a ship. It has to be a digital item in the game or a game package. They're all fair game. So I'm not trying to say it's bad. I'm not trying to say it's a thing. And this, just think of the coupon more as a perk, as a thank you for signing up for the year. That's all I'm trying to say. Okay, let's talk about the holiday starter packs. So there are a few. The Aurora MR for 40 USD is kind of a waste of time if you can afford anything more. And I'm not trying to sound snooty or anything, but 10% off an Aurora is just not enough. The new Cutter at 51 USD as a war bond is very interesting to me. That's a starter pack, has the whole game and everything. But I do want to note that it only comes with 24 months insurance, as most of the time these starter packs do, discount or not. But it's not the 10-year insurance that you might see at some other sales. But still, 1000 UEC comes with the game, of course, and then a Cutter that has 2 years insurance. That's not too bad. And then the Pisces as well is at 51 USD, really showing how they're sitting right next to each other in kind of the comparison charts. The 100i is at 52 USD. And Mason, if you're listening, yes, I do believe that the 125A is a fantastic ship. But the 100i, even with its ability to kind of just wander around in Atmo and not consume any fuel, is a little underpowered, undercapable. If I got 100i, I would look very hard, very quickly at upgrading that to a 125A or a 125A or a 135C. Either the cargo variant that has a slightly bigger cargo, or the 125A that is a pleasure to fly due to its maneuverability and its a little bit extra combat capabilities for the 100 series. The 125A truly is a standout. Both those ships are very good. The 100i is just kind of mediocre for what it is. It does have a bed, though. And like the Cutter does, the Pisces does not. The Pisces has 3 seats, proper seats that will take care of people even if there's heavy dodging and juking going on. And it also has some cargo space like the Cutter and the 100i technically to a lesser extent. However, it is more of a hop on the ramp with up to 2 of your buddies and get up to a station or go between ships. Use as a secondary ship if necessary. The Pisces is a wonderful little Star Trek-esque shuttle, if you will. It's not meant to live in. It's not meant to log off in because it doesn't have a bed. Whereas the Cutter is more sustainable due to its bed. 100i, a little more sustainable due to its bed. It is supposedly a luxury ship, although it's very sparse in there. And I would argue that the Cutter by itself is a great little ship. It's a brand new ship, so it's highly polished compared to some of the other ones out there that need some work, which will eventually get their work, don't get me wrong. But the Cutter is a great option. Alongside the venerable Avenger Titan for 56 USD, which has its combat chops, has some utility, is once again a ship kind of meant to hop in, do some action for the day, and then go back to base. And finally, for 71 USD, the Nomad. Now, you've heard me before talk about the Nomad. I still like the Nomad. It has a proper bed. It has some food kind of sustainability stuff that they're trying to add to it over time. It has the space for it. And it has externalized cargo, so it can fit a lot on there. That I really think the Nomad is a wonderful package. If you're only going to have one ship and you're not hyper combat focused, the Nomad will help you earn that second ship. So, okay, once in a while, my buddies want me to fly with them and fight stuff. I'll get a Nomad, do some hauling work with it, do some mining work with it, have some fun with it, and then buy myself a Mustang in game as my second ship. So when my buddies once in a while want me to go fight with them, I'll have that to fly with them, that kind of thing. So I think of the Nomad as a wonderful kind of small org support ship. It is a great utility vessel, and it is interesting. Another standout out of this group of starter packs is the C8X Pisces, but not for the reason you'd think. I would take the Pisces, get used to its flight characteristics, get really, really good with it, and then consider upgrading that to a C8R, the rescue variant with the T3 bed that loses one chair so you still have one to carry people with, and then you get a whole tier 3 medical bed. That ship truly is elevated. It's a lot like the Nomad, where it can kind of be used by advanced players in really interesting and dynamic ways that go beyond what it currently can do. And if you have a buddy with a Carrack, suddenly now you can land there, or any type of ship that has the ability to sustain smaller vessels. Soon the Liberator will be out. You can land on the front of a Liberator. Bam, you've now given the Liberator medical facilities. Any ship you land on, it acts as an ambulance. And yes, I'm gonna disclaimer this, cap it off, I guess, the hype by saying that the tier 3 bed is only able to handle minor injuries, but it also means it will keep that person alive until they don't perma-die, until you can get them to somewhere that has better medical. The C8R will make you a lot of money because people will put out distress beacons when they're dead or injured, and they're in this what the DBND's down but not out state. And when they're in DBNO, um, the little C8R is going to make its money. People will give you 50K UEC as a thank you just for coming out and saving their butt. And honestly, I think that ship is very interesting. It has a lot of hand medical tools and the drugs on board. It has some drink and food included right now in the fridge. Although, like we've seen with the Redeemer, patch to patch, that might kind of bug out, but you can see what it's meant to be. The C8R right now is really a standout ship for very reasonable price. And then finally on the sale page, if you scroll down, you'll notice there's a few sale actual pieces of merchandise. I can't really comment on most of these. I will say at the Bar Citizen over in Jersey recently, there was one fella there with the Origin fleece jacket thing, and it looked good. It looked like he was happy with it. It was funny how he had a Drake shirt on underneath it. It was like at war with himself, so to speak. Yeah, between the two. And of course, the legendary or infamous SOCS socks. They're pretty cool for reasons I'm not going to go into here, involving pipes. But I would say that there's a lot of interesting stuff here. If you're looking for something for, say, a significant other or one of your kids or something, the Pico plush you can't go wrong with. The Finley plush, if you like the storm walls, they're the space whales that will be in Orison hopefully very soon. I'm sure are pretty cool. If I had the money to just throw at something, I would pick one of those up, but I don't. So that's all I got for now. I hope this helped a little bit on the processing of Luminalia, what the event is, how it's embraced. At the top of the page, if you're wondering where the Finley is standing there with those angry snowmen, that's actually on New Babbage. It's in like an industrial area with these large overhead, like industrial pipe looking things that are coming out of a large building, and they kind of go parallel to each other for a long ways. You'll see a small glow when it's at night, and that's the campfire that's always running there. There's a bunch of angry looking snowmen around it. So if you're looking for a great screenshot for the screenshot event, that would probably be my choice. Maybe with a brand new C8R or a brand new cutter. CIG tends to favor those submissions where it shows like some brand new content. And you just got some brand new sweaters. So there you go. That's your outfit to wear. It is breathable Atmo down there. Even if you stay out there too long, you'll freeze to death. So I wouldn't. But if I was you, I would get some of those deliverable packages and some of the smaller ones and just stack a huge amount of them all around the snowmen. Like it looks like they're giving each other gifts. Something like that would probably do quite well for you in the screenshot contest, right next to the brand new ship sitting in the background. And don't forget, with your F4 settings, go in there and you can take a look at changing focal lengths. So if you hit escape, go into options, key bindings, you can view where the F4 tools are. Where, if you don't already know this, I love giving out secrets because that's why people watch these videos. We shouldn't hoard this information, very basic stuff for people who've been in the game a bit. When you press F4, you go into like a global camera if you haven't already used it. And if you use the page up, page down, the arrow keys, you can do a lot of interesting things with it. I think the scroll wheel's the other one. And then the numpad has the other stuff. So if you go into key bindings and you see all these weird like focal length in and out, zoom in, zoom out, that's what it's talking about. It's talking about the camera. So if you hold down the F4 key, and if there's nothing else you remember, try the arrow keys and the page up, page down key, and then spin your mouse, and you'll see what I'm talking about, how you can put yourself into the picture in different hilarious ways where you don't need like a whole person dedicated to the camera work. So if it's just you and a buddy or an orgmate, you can suddenly put your both of you into the scenario and have a good time and set up these wonderful screenshots and postcards and whatever the heck else contest you want to enter. I'm going to put all the links for the events down below too. I don't know why. I think it was somebody on mobile or something that mentioned, "Hey, do you have a link to one of the events?" They reached out on one of the comments in one of my older videos. So I'm going to try to start including more of those. If I refer to something at all, I'm going to try to put it below, just so you don't have to go digging for it. And yeah, once again, I wish you all a wonderful holiday season. If you celebrate Christmas, Hanukkah, and all the other wonderful things out there, I wish you all the best. And thank you all for being around. Thank you for being part of this community. And, well, I hope to talk a few more times with you before the new year. Fly safe.